Hello, everyone, and welcome into the studios. This is Susan Wilson. You'll recognize her from the community for many years, and Melodie Smith, very active people in our community, and here today with the Erin Garden Club. Have a great event coming up, don't we, Melodie?
We do, and we're really excited, and we've been working on it.
And you work really, Susan, y'all work year-round toward beautifying our community, don't you?
Yes, we do. We have several projects that we work on in the community.
Susan, you've been involved for many years with the Garden Club, haven't you?
Yeah, a few.
And it's very satisfying. It has to be very satisfying.
Well, I joined because I like to garden. My husband and I garden together. And I wanted to learn more about designs, how to take the flowers that I grow in my yard and make designs with them to put in my house. So a good friend of mine, Nancy Stinson, she invited me, and she's a wonderful designer, so she's been a mentor to me and to many in the garden club.
Gosh, such a wonderful thing to be able to do, to take what you grow outside, to bring inside and display it, to arrange it in a proper way, and not just, I mean, it's fair enough to stick it in a vase and enjoy it, but beyond
to know
that.
how to do different designs with it is, that's what I wanted to learn. And also about horticulture. We also talk about horticulture.
Quite a bit. And Melodie, now you've been in the Garden Club for many years.
Well,
You were
believe
born
it or
into
not,
it, weren't you?
Well, I was kind of raised in garden club, thanks to my mom.
Yes.
But I joined Erin Garden Club in 2013, so really haven't been in there, what you would say, I would say not very long.
Right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the history of the Garden Club.
Okay. Well, I have a question for you.
All right.
I want you to tell me where you think garden clubs first had their very first garden club.
In the United States or in the world?
United States.
United States.
Really in the world too. So.
Yeah, wow. And so you asked the question, I would think obviously an older city, Boston, Savannah. Give me some help.
Well, you're not too far away, at least you're in the right country. But the first known garden club in America was founded in 1891 by 12 ladies in a town that's not very far from us that a lot of people, I think, will recognize. It's called Athens, Georgia. And there were 12 women, and one of those women's last name, which is a familiar name if you're familiar with Athens, was Mrs. Lumpkin. And that garden club was active for was several years. And the location that they had, it was actually given away. But those 12 ladies, and if you know women, there's a lot of women who were very determined. You can try to take them down, but they're not going to go. That club still exists to this day in Athens, Georgia. But the headquarters now is in Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri. It's where the headquarters is for the National Garden Club. But Athens still has an area, the Botanical Gardens
Yes.
of Athens is part of the Garden Club of Georgia and National Garden Clubs. But right now, all 50 states have garden clubs. And also there are 330 international affiliations. Can you believe that 12 women in Athens has expanded that far now? And our club actually began in 1949 and still exists today, which we're very proud of.
Yes.
And the president of that time was Mrs. Phil Adams. But there's people I know that will remember names like Sophia Bencino, Betty Ann Carswell, Martha Hooks. Those ladies were ladies that I remember the most, or Betty Ann, who is still with us, but Martha Hooks has passed on.
Yes.
But there's several women that I remember growing up, being the child of a person who was very, very active in Garden Club here in Dublin.
Yes. Let's talk about your mother and what impression she gave to you, what impression she made on you.
Well, my mother loves flowers, and she loves to grow them. Her mother could root a rose. You could buy a rose, send it to her, she could root it. And so it's just something I think that might be kind of a gene in our blood.
Hmm.
And, but Mother was very active in a garden club here in Dublin. And I think people may have seen her back several years ago, for many years, I think 30 years especially, working with prisoners throughout the city, down at the city hall, out at the market, the Green Acres Golf Course.
Yeah.
And she and Mary Douglas, there's kind of a funny story about Judge Douglas and my dad that we would always kind of laugh about, was that when they were working on a project, Judge Douglas had a truck with a trailer, and my dad had a truck with a trailer. Well, if someone heard about there was some pine straw on the side of the road, Judge Douglas and my daddy would see who could get there first to get the pine straw to take to their beds. And
Yeah.
also,
Workers in our community. And when you look at the impression of a community, when people come to visit us, when you pass by beautiful areas, whether it be a green space, a garden, or what have you, a lot of times you don't take enough note of it. A lot of us may not take enough note of it. Now I do, and I really admire the work, the passion, the desire to share that beauty with others, and no one should take that for granted. And so we have an opportunity to give back with an event that's coming up, don't we, Susan?
Yes, we have a flower show coming up soon. And we have a guest speaker that's in what we call our pre-event. The flower show itself is free to the public, but for our pre-event, you will need a ticket. James Farmer is our speaker, and we feel very lucky for him to be coming to a small town like Dublin to speak. He travels all over the United States. He's an author, and Melodie has brought several of his books to show. We will be having a book signing after he speaks, and he has published several books. He's a landscaper. He designs, he does interior design. He's doing a presentation for us, and he will be in town on Friday, April 22nd, and it is being held at the First Baptist Family Center. Most people, I think, are familiar with that.
Yes.
And the doors will open at 12:30, and we are serving a snack box that people can pick up and they can enjoy while he's speaking, or you can take it home with you. But he'll be doing a demonstration, and then afterwards we'll have a book signing.
Nice.
And you can purchase books from him, and he will sign it for you. And then the flower show will begin, and it is free to the public. You just need a ticket if you want to come and see James Farmer, and those tickets are $40 a piece. But the flower show is open to the public. It's free, and we will open the doors for that at 2:30, and it'll be from 2:30 till 6 on Friday, and then Saturday, the 23rd, it'll be from 10 till 2. Now, the flower show has several different areas that you can enter. Horticulture is one of the areas that is open to anyone. Anyone can enter horticulture. And I've brought a few samples because some people may not understand what I mean when I say you can enter horticulture.
Okay.
But all you need is a little sample, and the garden club provides the jars. All you have to do is bring your sample in, and you'll fill out a ticket and enter. And you can have anything. This is called pittosporum. Lots of people have this as their shrubbery in their yard. So you don't have to have any special item or anything. This is another one, boxwood. That's very common. You probably have boxwood in your yard, I bet. And then I did bring a flower. I picked this morning. It's a Dutch iris. My husband will probably be mad that I cut it, but I wanted to bring it in to show that it is a sample of horticulture that you can enter. And we will have all kinds of prizes. You know, we'll have a prize for whoever can bring in the most horticulture.
Okay.
And, and then whoever, can bring in a really award-winning type horticulture. And then we have an area of designs, and you have to be a member of a garden club to enter the designs. And there's
Okay.
all different areas of designs. And I will tell you, there are some women and men that can design like a professional in this town. I mean, they could really open their own florist if they wanted to. They are so talented. So I really like to see those.
I'll bet.
See people entering
Yeah.
into that.
That sounds wonderful. Let's pause just for a moment now, and we talk about bringing in samples. So Mr. Farmer will be there to identify these.
Well,
No.
no. He is our guest speaker. He's
Okay.
the pre-event.
Okay.
And he will be doing a demonstration. And you can come and see him. He's kind of like our entertainment.
All
That's
right.
the pre-event to our flower show.
Okay.
And he will have books available for sale. Or if you have a book already at home
Yes.
and you want him to personally sign it, you can bring that book and he will sign it for you also. But he's like our pre-event.
Okay.
And then the flower show will follow afterwards.
And so bringing in the different plants, if one wants them identified, is that part of the process?
Right, yeah. What we will have is, we have different members that are we're called classification. And they, if you don't know the classification, and what we mean about classification is the common name and like a scientific name. And we identify the scientific name along with the common if you're not aware of what that information is. And we will have the horticulture, we'll have an adult section of horticulture and a children's from kindergarten through high school age.
Very good.
Children can also participate.
That's what's really exciting, getting children involved.
Yes.
And educating them.
Yes. And so if one would have a plant at home, something that flowering, shrub, something, they could bring a sample of it, and then if
Exactly.
they don't know what it is, you can help them identify
Yes.
it.
Right.
Yes.
And for the adults have to have had the plant in their possession for at least 90 days. A child for 60 days.
Okay.
So children could have had it for just 2 months, but yet the adults have to have it at least for 3. And so,
Okay. Well, we know the rules, at least most of them now.
right.
We'd really
So-
like people to turn out. Now, you have young people involved as well, don't you?
We do. We have 2 of our schools, elementary schools. We have Hillcrest, K4 through 4th grade, and they're going to be featured with their recycling program and controlling litter. And they're going to have an area that they're going to set up with recycling products and information about both recycling and litter. And then we have the 4th grade out at Trinity Christian School, who they have an outside garden classroom.
Good.
And they're going to be bringing a pollinating garden. And they're going to be having information there about why you need to plant pollinating plants. And as we all know, bees need those pollinating plants.
Yes, ma'am.
And so they'll be highlighted there. Then we go to high school. East Lawrence, Dublin High School, and West Lawrence High School, FFA members. We've invited them to participate in a design, but you're going to have to wait and come and see what that design is, because each school will be exhibiting their spirit of their school, if it's the Irish, the Falcons, or the Raiders. And also they will be competing against each other with that.
Very good. Very good. Sounds like an exciting day. Hey, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back, okay?
The City of Dublin Natural Gas provides the most cost-efficient source of energy available today. So for your home, choose the most natural resource. Safe, clean, efficient. All new subdivisions around the Dublin area have natural gas available. Start reducing your energy bills today with Dublin City Natural Gas Department. Natural gas, the smart choice. Call 277-5048 today and let us help you start saving today.
The diesel and automotive technology programs at Oconee Fall Line Technical College are hands-on and can be completed in a year and a half or less. Students gain valuable experience working on state-of-the-art equipment and training aids, and even maintain the college's diesel truck and vehicle fleet, which allows them to see the real-world issues they'll encounter on the job before they graduate. During labs, students are exposed to every part of the automobile or diesel truck and are required to put the theories they've learned in the classroom and during lectures into action. OFTC's diesel program is certified through Daimler Trucks of North America's Get Ahead program, which allows students to add certifications to their resume before entering the workforce. Automotive technology students can also earn entry-level certifications through Automotive Service Excellence. Adding these certifications to their resume before entering the workforce sets OFTC graduates apart when applying for jobs. These programs are flexible and instructors work with students to accomplish their individual goals. Day and some evening class options are available, and the majority of a student's classwork is done online, so time on campus is spent applying knowledge and practicing skills through lab assignments. Careers in the diesel and automotive technician industry are in demand, and the more a technician learns, the more valuable they become to their employer. Opportunities in these fields are endless.
Welcome you back with the Erin Garden Club. We have Susan Wilson, Melodie Smith, and we talk about making a difference in the community and things going on, and you can't do it without some type of money. You have to have something to work with. You know, you do what you can, but you do fundraisers like this event, having Mr. Farmer come in, but what projects do you normally do in the course of a year?
I want to start like on the state level, because our club contributes to some funds that I feel like most people in this area will recognize.
Okay.
If you've ever ridden down a highway and you've seen a blue star marker that recognizes your veterans and current servicemen and women, or a gold star marker, or even a historical marker, our garden club has contributed to that fund, and they even refurbish those, and that goes through the Garden Club of Georgia, and I don't feel like anybody really knows where those signs come, who keeps them up, and whatever.
Very good.
And then if you're riding down I-16 in the spring and you see the wildflowers in the median, the bright yellow and pink flowers, we contribute to that to provide beautification while people's riding on an interstate throughout the community.
Wonderful.
But locally, some of the projects that we have done and continue to do is we do the landscaping for Habitat for Humanity houses. I bet people would be surprised if they saw garden ladies out digging holes for shrubbery and planting them, but we do. I'll have to give Nancy credit and Mary Tyre a lot of credit for heading those projects up in the past, and also. And one thing that we have done the last, 2 years, and we'll be doing it again in September, we have purchased books. These are our 3 books that we have presented. We give these to the city, the county, and Trinity Christian Schools Library, based on the ratio of kindergarten students they have.
Yes.
And so we have given the saved seed, which is taking the seeds out of a pumpkin, planting them, and seeing a pumpkin come. And it was interesting. One teacher told me that you'd be surprised about young children. They don't know where things come from. And it's almost like they have the concept of, let's order it at the McDonald's menu, and we get to the window, and there's our hamburger. Well, this is to kind of teach children a little bit about where your vegetables and fruits come from.
Very good.
And then this book, The Frightened Frog, is about the importance of amphibians and what we need to protect our frogs, because our frogs help keep our mosquitoes and bugs away. And they eat the algae in your ponds. This book, I feel like a lot of parents and grandparents can relate to this book. This book has not been given to the schools yet, but will probably be given in September. And it's about a young boy who goes to stay with his grandparents for the week during the summer, and he takes his iPad, he takes his game box, he takes his telephone, and he thinks, I'm going to sleep all day and I'm going to get to play with my games. Well, the first morning his granddaddy knocks on the door and says, let's go fishing. Well, he wasn't real excited about that. And then the next day, his grandmother wanted them to go out and just kind of pick wildflowers and all, and she taught him a little bit about some of the wildflowers that was close by. At night, he was catching fireflies.
Nice.
And the kids next door, one day, were outside playing, and by the time he left his grandparents' house, he wasn't playing with his iPad or his cell phone and all.
Very
and
good.
so this is a cute little book and all there.
Yes.
Other projects we do is we go out to Dublin Place and do garden therapy with the residents. And what we do there is we provide the pots and the soil and the plants. One of the last projects we did succulents for the residents there at Dublin Place. But then also at that time we kind of decided that there was a garden there at Dublin Place that needed a little attention. And so our club has taken that on as a year-round project. And our members, we go out every month. We have members assigned that go out there and just kind of keep it cleaned up. But then we have work days out there where we plant seasonal plants and all, and it won't be long before we'll be going out there and doing that, planting our plants to kind of give it some color.
Wonderful. Gosh, you ladies stay real busy,
We
don't
do
you?
stay busy.
Yeah. Now, Susan, if we pause, show some of the books that Mr. Farmer's written and people will be
Well,
able to purchase. And
One that he's written, this is about wreaths and designing different wreaths, and he does a great job at doing that. Another book he has is called A Place to Call Home, and it has beautiful designs in it.
yes.
Like I said, he does a lot of interior design.
I see.
And he also, this one is called Dinners on the Ground, and it is full of recipes. So if you like recipe books, my husband likes to just look at them and read them. But anyway, there's all types of recipes and
Very
books that you
good.
might be interested
Yeah,
in. And
quite a variety
he has
there.
numerous other books, and he is coming out with a new book in August. And he will not have that book at our garden shows so that you can purchase it, but he will be talking about it
Okay.
when he does his presentation.
Something to look forward to.
And we're hoping to be able to take pre-orders for that book.
Yes.
And if we can, those books we couldn't get you could receive those in July instead of waiting until when they come out in August. But one thing interesting about James Farmer, he's from Perry, and his backyard is actually a wedding venue.
Something to see.
Something to see.
It is.
Yeah.
And he uses a lot of white in his garden, green and white,
Green and white,
Very clean and
very.
bright.
fresh and clean.
Yeah. We'll take another short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Green and growing. Farmers State Bank has been helping our community grow for more than 88 years. Relationship banking that values neighbors with quality services. From personal banking to business loans, whatever your banking needs, Lawrence County's leader in banking is Farmers State Bank. Banking is as easy as FSB, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Spring has sprung here at Dublin Chevy Nissan in Dublin, Georgia. Our inventory is blooming with new Pathfinders, Frontiers, Yukons, and Tahoes. And with spring break coming up, there's never a better time to come into our award-winning service department for a checkup. And remember, Doug sells service well. With that spring trip coming up, there's never a better time to find a new or pre-owned SUV. If you see an HD or a Tahoe on our lot or online, don't wait or you'll miss out. Hurry in to Dublin Chevy Nissan.
All right, welcome you back, Susan, Melanie. It's been a pleasure to speak with you. A flower show is just, it seems wonderful. Having Mr. Farmer come in and speak is quite an opportunity for our community. A lot of room at First Baptist Family Life Center. There's a tremendous amount of room, nice staged area. If you haven't been there before, most of us have, whether to vote or to an event or what have you. So we invite you to turn out for that. Invite your friends and neighbors from all over the state to come, right?
Exactly. We know we've already sold tickets to people throughout the state of Georgia that are coming, and when you come to the Family Center that day, you're going to have a very special, unique friend who's going to welcome you at the door. We can't tell you who that will be. You'll have to
Okay.
come and see. And the Family Center will be divided in half. We are having seats for 245 to 250 people to see James Farmer. We're down to about 29 tickets left.
Well,
And so we hope to have those sold very soon. And then we'll have that room divided with folding wall panels.
yes.
And on the other side of those panels will be our flower show. So if you can imagine, half of that basketball court is going to be James Farmer. The other half is going to be nothing but flowers and designs. And we're featuring an Irish theme, since the title of our flower show is A Touch of Erin. And that theme will be carried throughout the flower show, and especially with our designs. We'll have breakfast ideas, we'll have lunch ideas, and we'll have a very unique, what we called an exhibition table for table designs,
All right.
which is not a table setting, it's kind of an artistic setting for table designs.
Well, I'm certainly intrigued. Susan, y'all put a lot of thought into this, haven't you?
This has probably been a process that has taken a year. We started meeting May a year ago, and Melanie asked me to be the chairperson, and we sort of have a little motto that's similar to Dublin Service League. We've both been in Dublin Service League, and it is to never say no. So I felt like I could not say no. And I told her, I said, well, Melanie, if we're going to do this flower show, and it hasn't been done in 20 years, I said, we are going big. We either go home or we go big. And that's how the concept of James Farmer was developed, that we would have him as a pre-show event, and then we would have the flower show afterwards. And I think people will be totally surprised at the designs and the horticulture that is in this community, and we encourage everybody to come.
Wow.
It's a special event that you haven't seen in a long time.
So, Melanie, how would one get tickets, one of those precious tickets that are remaining?
They can contact any of the Erin Garden Club members, myself, Susan, Smith has some tickets down at their store. They have a few, very few tickets are at Smith's. But we welcome phone calls. My phone number is 478-278-7721. My email is melodies387@gmail.com.
Okay.
Call me or send me an email, and I will promise you we will get a ticket to you.
Now, if you can't quite go the ticket route, ladies and gentlemen, the show is free of charge.
Yes, the show is free to anybody. Like I said, the doors will open, and at 2:30 the flower show will begin. So, if you prefer not to see James Farmer, we do encourage you to please
Yes.
come to the flower show,
Yes.
because it's different, and not many people have ever been to a flower show before.
And young people are welcome to attend.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
That's one of our goals, is to get our young people involved
Yes, ma'am.
outside. I know we're all guilty, and I'm just as guilty. You can get on that computer, you've got work to do, you've got emails to send, but there's nothing better than to be outside.
Yeah, amen to that. I love it. Many of us have kind of a feeble effort in gardening. We do try, but there's success that will be shown. There are ways to succeed. There are ways that you can see arrangements
Yes.
on that day, and just a beautiful, wonderful experience. Maybe something to catapult you into the same type of
Yes.
either design.
Gardening is really good therapy.
It is.
I mean, that's kind of how my husband and I look at it, and it's good to get outside and do something, and then watch your achievements
Yes.
after you
Yeah.
garden.
So, Melanie, if you look around your house, gardens, things you do in the community, and you had to choose one flower, one blooming flower, what would it be?
What would it be?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, goodness. I love amaryllis. They're fixing to pop open now. I love those. It's hard to say just one.
We love perennials.
Yes.
And perennials come back every year.
Yes.
So I like to garden with perennials a lot.
What would be a perennial that you would prefer?
An iris is a bulb. It comes back
Yeah.
every year.
Mhm.
Cone flowers, that's probably one of my favorite cut flowers that you can use in arrangements. Gerber
Hydrangeas.
daisies, hydrangeas.
Yes.
All of those.
Yes, and if you struggle with where to plant certain things, it'd be an opportunity for you to mingle with people who love gardening.
Oh,
and-
definitely.
Definitely.
I do want to mention people in the community. We are really trying to encourage people in our community who are not associated with a garden club or whatever to bring horticulture, and they can bring that to the family center on Thursday afternoon before that Friday, from 1 to 6, and we'll help them display it and hope that they get a blue ribbon, because we'll be giving blue, red, yellow, and white ribbons.
Have tons of ribbons to give away.
Nice.
And then we'll have special ribbons for like the top award in horticulture or designs, but then we're giving 2 very, very special prizes. Do you want to tell them about those?
Well, the person that enters the most events will get a special Simon Pierce crystal tree. And then the President's Award that Melanie is giving. You want to-
Okay, it's a Simon Pierce vase, and these are all unique because they're all handmade by Simon Pierce. And that person, it's whoever scores the most points, and everything is judged by points. And so whoever has the highest points will be the recipient of the Simon Pierce crystal vase.
Wonderful. Really looking forward to this event, ladies and gentlemen. I am, I trust you are, in our community. Share with your neighbors, share with your family, anywhere and all around. Susan, Melanie, thank you for what you do in our community, but especially right now, thank you for this. It'll be an ideal opportunity for us all to get out and really enjoy the day.
Well, thank you, and thank you for
Thank
letting
you for
us be
having
here.
us.
Right.
All right. Thank you for joining us right here.